Hello YouTube, I'm David with the David West channel. Today I want to show you two different kinds of bow drill bowstrings. You always hear people talking about that you always have cordage on you in case you need to do a bow drill. It's your shoelaces. Well, here's some bootlaces from the Dollar General. And then I'll show you how to use two of these bags and twist them up to make a good bow drill bowstring. Let's go ahead and make our bow. All right, here's a piece of pine that should work nicely. Let's go ahead and cut it to size. Doesn't have to be as long as your arm. This will be shorter than my arm. Good soft piece of pine. All right, now I'm going to cut a slot. Here's the bow, so I'll cut a slot this way and a slot this way. And then I'll try to widen it out just a little bit near the bottom. And same thing here. Here's the bow. We'll cut our slot right here. Whittle it down a little bit, take off some of the rough edges. All right, that looks good. Let's string it up with the bootlaces first. All right, you can tie a knot in the one end. I like to go through the loop twice. And then on this end, just like I showed you a dozen times, we're going to give it about 1 inch of slack, so pull it out 1 inch right there. And as tight as you can, make all these wraps. Make a loop over your thumb, go back through that loop, and just cinch it down. That is a good bowstring right there. Since making this bow was so easy, let me just get another piece of, another branch, slightly curved, and we'll make another one up. Right, here's a piece of tulip poplar. And we'll use from here to here. We don't really need both ends grooved like this, because on the plastic bag bowstring, I'm going to hold it in my hand. It's called the handheld bowstring technique. But this is a multi-purpose bow, isn't it? Now, we're going to tie the loops together. We'll come through this one side and loop it back through. And that knot that's in the very center will not matter at all. Now, let's put a knot in this end so that we can make it stay in the groove. And another knot in this end, which is what we'll hold on to. Make this knot a little bit bigger. We'll do the double pass through for a fatter knot. Now let's force it down in this groove right here. Just like that. And twist it up. Twist it up and then stretch it. Twist it up some more. All right, once you get it all twisted up, stretch it on out and then twist it up again. And believe it or not, that will drive a spindle. So let me show you our two bows. We are ready to go. Let me get set up on the gun, and we'll use our maple set. Got some catkins as coal extender to use with the pine needles. And if you remember the last time we used this maple spindle, it wore all funny like that. But I'm going to use this pointy end to go ahead and start our burn in, start the divot. And Fatwood bearing block. All right, let's start off with the bootlace for our burn-in. Maple spindle on maple fireboard, Fatwood bearing block, showcasing things that you may not have thought of for a bow drill bowstring, which are bootlaces and a plastic grocery bag. Let's go for the burn-in here. Pine needles tinder bundle with a little bit of catkins in there for coal extender. There's a burning with a lot of good dust too. And the dust poured off the top of that fireboard nicely, so we're gonna have a good experience with that. Let me go ahead and cut these shoulders off a little bit. All right, we'll use that for our spindle tip and get my saw out. Saw out my notch. Be right back. That's about the most butchered up notch I ever cut. A big chunk of it just popped out on me, so I had to make that littler notch going back up into it, and it's off center. Let's go ahead and try it. I'm gonna need a sharper point on the bearing block end of my spindle. Right, let's see how that works for us now. And I saw we had an ember before I ever stopped. All right. Stand in front of the wind, because you do want to get air, but you don't want wind to blow on it. It'll coalesce and become tighter if you don't let the wind blow on it. Our bearing block. And our tip, our hot end wore nicely, didn't it? Ooh, the wind is making it burn up faster than I want it to. And that old ugly, ugly notch. Looking pretty good. All ready for our plastic bag bowstring to make another ember. This isn't going to go to flames, or I've never seen them go to flames. This is just to build that amber and make it bigger and safeguard it. The amber can burn out now and I'd be safe because I've transferred it to this coal extender. Good. Now, let's use the plastic grocery bag bowstring. And I'm going to wrap it around my hand and put this knot up between those two fingers. Can you see that? Wrap it around my hand, put the knot up. Wrap it around my hand, put the knot in between those two fingers. And I think I'll use a double wrap on the spindle. Now, I'll take and bear into my leg, hip, whatever, to tighten up on that. And as that stretches out, I'll have to stop in the middle of bow drilling and tighten this back up. Let's see how far we can go before we have to stop and tighten it up. Let's tighten it up. Good. Small ember, but we got it. Now, let's try to make sure that we maintain it by getting it into this coal extender. That was a perfect place for a coal extender when the amber was so tiny and small and the wind was just steady blowing it and using it up. Now I have all the time in the world to go ahead and ignite my pine needles. That's it. And we put some wood in on top of it. The drops that we took off of these, bows, let's go ahead and put some of those on there. That's tulip poplar there. We use tulip poplar on this grocery bag bowstring. Little old short bow, just 18 inches. And yet, it started to fray a little bit. Started to break apart, break off, but I dare say you could use this one again. And then what can we say about our bootlaces? It did a great job. You couldn't have asked for more out of a bowstring than what we got out of this one. Bootlaces. And of course our Victorinox Fieldmaster did a great job as usual. All right, our work here is done. I appreciate you joining me on this one. We'll catch you on the next one. Let's see if that'll take off like that.